Hey, greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott. You're in the Prague Corner, and today's Sunday live stream includes a mystery man in black. Oh, it's not a political statement, although it kind of could be a political statement, but it is not. Boys and girls, it's none other than Andy Martin from Unit. Andy, good afternoon. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thanks. And thank you for your patience.
You know, at first I was a little bummed out. Hey, we can't get Andy's camera working. And then I'm thinking, Unit is one of those prog bands. Can I call your band a prog band?
Oh, please do. It's a compliment. We try to be a
Unit
prog band.
Unit is one of those bands that has this weird, totally dedicated, totally loyal following. And
All three of them,
you got three?
at least three.
Oh, that's outstanding.
And they're all American.
Really? Well, I think I get why that might be, actually. I think maybe you just hit a little close to the bone for those in the UK. I don't know what it is, but you're a controversial figure. YouTube apparently hates you, so maybe it's YouTube that's keeping you in the black here today. But I am also joined here today by none other than Johnny D, the mastermind behind the great Stogum. How are you this afternoon, Johnny?
I'm fine. I'm just one of the bit players. The mastermind's not here.
Yeah, I
He
know,
keeps
but it's
himself
fun to
hidden.
it's fun to blow up your ego a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have a coup. Maybe I'll go for it.
There's a coup.
Never without this. I have to carry this about with me everywhere.
You do. It's
Yeah,
it's the rule.
we've been enjoying some radio play this week, which is good on Epic Prog Radio and Sound of Prog and stuff like that, and Progzilla. So
Okay.
we're on the rise. We're on the rise.
Very, very nice. And back in his natural environs, it was too good to be true, boys and girls, that Kiefer was actually somewhere stable. No, he's back in his vehicle. I
Yep.
guess it's like you're just gonna have to deal with Kiefer where he belongs, and he belongs in a car, I guess.
I think this is one off. I don't think I'm going to do this next few weeks, but we'll see.
Oh, we're fine with it. We're fine with it. Today we're talking about sophomore albums, and we picked five really, really good ones. I'm excited to talk about these five albums, but I then threw on the extra additional challenge of what could possibly be the very best sophomore album of all time. And I kind of want to get the chat in on it. We've got Garden Jester from Sweden. Oh, he's got Brand X at number one. We've got Zeb from Norway. Hey, how you doing? We got Ian all the way in British Columbia. You've got Ken, and of course the mighty Jeff Shilka in the house. Oh, thank you so much for joining us today. We've got all the way from the UK. It's Ian from Rhyme Signatures. Okay, Images and Words for second album. And yes, if you want to get technical, there was a demo before
Yes,
Free
I
Fall.
I've already out there multiple.
Does that count? I say it doesn't count. I've
Oh,
always considered What If a sophomore album.
yeah. What if is their second record? Just to me, demos I consider, but
Yeah, it was never meant to be.
and a
It's
bunch of songs on Great Spectacular are have better versions on Free Fall and What If.
yeah.
So
There you go. There you have it. I guess you could call Images and Words the third album then too.
no,
If you're gonna include demos, every band had a demo, right?
I was thinking, honestly, I was thinking about going when I came up with this. I was thinking about going the Images and Words route, but honestly, I've heard that album a lot in my life. I've heard Images and Words. I mean, when I first heard that, I probably played it 100 times in 2 months, and then or maybe not that extreme, but and then right now I'm at a point where I never need to hear that record again. But it's just I've heard it a lot.
Okay,
So
so boys and girls, The 5 albums we're talking about, it just in case you didn't see the thumbnail and you're just wandering onto the live stream. Or if you're Andy Martin from Unit and may or may not have been clued into what today's premise was, I actually have no idea. Andy, thank you for being such a good sport about this whole thing. It's Brand X Moroccan Roll from 1977 versus National Health of Q's and Cures from 1978.
Yes.
Dixie Dregs What If from 1978. Crafty Hands by Happy the Man from 1978. And from 1979, Bruford's One of a Kind. So I really like these 5 picks, Kiefer. Not only did you pick 5 albums that just chronologically make sense, 1977 and 1979, very tight little window where I remember exactly where I was when I got my hands on all 5 of these records. So very, very cool time machine for me. But also 5 that share a certain kind of jazz fusion-y bend, right? I mean, some of these more fusion-y than others. But real good job on this one, Kiefer.
Yeah, I have a list on my phone of bands that are kind of on the prog fusion borderline, bands that track both genres. And I really didn't have to leave anybody off. These were the 5 names that stuck out to me with great sophomore albums. So
Okay, well, why don't you start us off?
all right. Are we doing all 5 or just 5, 4, 3, and then 2, 1?
Do all 5.
All right. So first,
Hey, I want to get your bit over with. Then I want to get Johnny's bit over with, and then I want to spend some time with our mystery man Andy. And that way, if you have to take off and do the stuff you got to do, Kiefer, you're fine. But yeah, give me the goods, give me it all.
yeah, so before I give my picks, I have some picks from some of the guys who can't make it. We have a ton of guys on vacation this week. It's crazy.
Okay,
So,
well, I'm glad you pointed out why why some of our regulars aren't here. No, they're not. They haven't gone the way of Wayne. Or have they? Have they gone the way of Wayne? Is everybody deserting me? Does everybody hate me like Wayne does?
anywho, so I got Brad's. He's in Italy at Moon June, which is super cool.
Ah, yeah, lovely.
His number 5 is Happy the Man. His number 4 is Dixie Dregs. His number 3 is National Health. His number 2 is Brand X. His number 1 is Bruford.
No.
I got Chris's picks. His number 5 is Dregs. Number 4, Bruford. Number 3, Brand X. Number 2, Happy the Man. Number 1, National Health. And Kevin's picks. His number 5 is Brand X. His number 4 is the Dregs. His number 3 is Happy the Man. He told me to tell everybody his number 2.5 is Fire by Mahavishnu.
Ooh.
Says his wanted it, and he said it's his favorite Mahavishnu.
But we couldn't include it. We had it in our debut album battle. So that if you're wondering why Birds of Fire is not there, A, we had it in our debut album battle, and B, chronologically, it just doesn't make sense, right? What year did 72, 73?
Yeah,
73?
quite early, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Quite early.
73.
Yeah.
Okay.
His number 2 is National Health, and his number 1 is Bruford. And he tells everybody to check out the record by a band called Liturgia del Preambo, and the title is Volume Primo. I'm sure I butchered that pronunciation. I've heard it. It's a really good instrumental prog record. So if you like instrumental prog, a little heavy in places, nothing too crazy, and get some fusion influences, heavy clarinet, heavy saxophone. It's a really good record. So one of the best records of the first half of this year for sure. All right, I got my list.
I listened to that record. Kevin from Prague Radio was all about that record. He actually DM'd me and said, "Oh, you got to hear this Liturgia del Piombo or whatever it's called," and it sounded all right. It sounded like a good fusion record, very fusion-y prog. I enjoyed it, but he's calling it his album of the year, and I'm not sure I'm going to go there.
this has been a pretty light year as far as the releases go. So I mean, just judging off the first half. So we'll see in December where it ends up. But
Okay.
all right, let's read off the list. This, I'm sure I'm going to echo everybody's sentiments. This was very hard.
Yep,
These
sure
are
was.
these are five really good albums. I still can't believe I was dumb enough to do that, to put these five together. A couple of these are new for me, but my number five is not a new band. My number five is Brand X. I love Brand X, although if I'm getting nitpicky, side one of this is a little chill for me, and it's a little bit on the not as focused side. Like, Sing for the Day I don't love it, I don't hate it. I mean, I usually prefer to not have vocals on an largely instrumental album. You got that 11-minute piece, Why Should I Lend You Mine, or whatever that's called. That is way too long. I don't know if I need that. But as far as side one goes, Hate Zone is awesome. I love that song. But side two is where it's at for this. You got three of their best tracks: Disco Suicide, Malaga Virgin, Macrocosm. But on the whole, I think there's a pretty big dichotomy between the two sides here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put this at number five. It's a little bit on the low energy side for me. Like, I like something a little higher energy. And when it comes to Brand X in the 70s, I prefer the record before this, and definitely I prefer Masks, the record after this, which I think is their best record from the 70s. So I don't know. I did leave a note here that this Chris Sangarides was the engineer for this, and this was the first record that he used his Vortex method to record John Goodsall's guitar. Basically a random panning effect, kind of like reverb, but obtained through a specific series of microphones. For anybody who's not familiar,
Did not.
but yeah,
Nope.
this is more closer to future proggy moments. So, but it's my number five. My number four is National Health. This band is brand spanking new to me as of this Monday. And I really, really like this record. I had heard the name before, because you'll hear prog guys talk about it. I've heard fusion guys talk about it too. Ian B. About convinced me to buy the Hatfield and the North albums last month, and those were really good. But I think I like this a touch better. I'm going to go out on a limb and say between all five of these albums, I think Pip Pyle's drumming is more creative than the drumming on all five of these albums. He is so creative. He has such a creative beat construction. The stuff he's doing, it's not jazz drumming, it's not fusion drumming. It's chiefly in the rock camp, but I think he's a really good drummer, very underrated in the prog world. I know Dreams Wide Awake is acknowledged to be an all-time great organ solo from Dave Stewart. My favorite track is the opener, whatever it is, the Bryden two-step for amphibians. Titles on this album are very weird.
It's a great track. Love that track.
Honestly, the horns in that kind of remind me of something you get out of, kind of reminded me of like the middle section of like a Snarky Puppy song. I wonder if Snarky is influenced by National Health. That's maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm not a huge Canterbury guy, but if I'm being honest, the vocals never really bothered me. I mean, they're a little quirky, but I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. The vocals on Binoculars are pretty good, and that's a really good tune. And then Square from Odd is a cool track. More in the prog camp, but I don't know. I really like this record. But it's my number four. My battle between my 3 and 4 was super tight. It was very difficult. But at the end of the day, my number 3 is Happy the Man. This band is kind of a new discovery for me, but people have talked my leg off about this band for like 3 years now. Because I figured, well, yeah, it's probably pretty good. and then here's another assignment I got to do for another panel. So I checked this out. I checked out the debut too, because I don't know which I like more. They're pretty even. This took a while to click with me. It's a very laid back album, pretty much. It's even a lot more laid back than the first record. But I really, really, really like this record. Ken Scott, who produced 2 of these albums.
Yes, he did. 2 out of the 5 on the list for Ken Scott
Amazing
joints.
production from him. Service with a Smile is a great opener. I think Morning Sun is a beautiful piece. It's back again, like Brand X, it's backloaded for me. I like side 2 better. Wind Up Dull Day Wind is actually a very good vocal tune. That's actually really good. There's not a lot of vocal tunes I've heard that are better than that.
Yeah, that's the only vocal track on the album, and I obviously would be remiss if I did give the Whitaker family some cheer. I guess Stanley had a heart attack or something a few days ago. So our thoughts and prayers go to the Whitaker family, Leanne Whitaker. Stanley, you are the man. Absolutely. Love Happy the Man. But yeah, I just remembered that.
Definitely. Middle section, An Open Book, I think is really cool. I think my favorite track is I Forgot to Push It. That's a catchy tune. Definitely takes repeated listening. It's definitely more of a full album thing. I really couldn't. I would never contemplate listening to any of these tracks on their own. But it's a really good album. Definitely worth a few more spins for me. I could see this becoming liking this even more with repeated listening. My top 2.
I am way far away from my mic today. Is that
my
better?
Sorry.
Yeah,
my top very difficult because I've had these records in my life a long, long time, and they're 2 of the most important fusion records and 2 of the best fusion records of the 70s. But my number 2, and this was very difficult, was What If by the Dregs. Steve Morse is probably the greatest rock guitarist, technically speaking, alive today and maybe ever. I just think incredible playing and incredible tone, incredible technique. One of the best 1-2 punches ever. Take It Off the Top and Odyssey. I mean, the playing in Odyssey still blows my mind. That's an incredible song. My second favorite Dregs song. My favorite Dregs song is I'm Freaking Out off Dregs of the Earth. There's 2 really good instrumental ballads on here. Title Track and Night Meets Light. Those are really good. I like both those tunes a lot. Every Dregs album typically there's 2 things you can always expect. You'll get the country piece, and then you'll get the classical piece. Both of those are really good. Little Kids is a great little classical thing. It's always been doing. Gina Lola Breakdown. That's awesome. I love that. I also like his kind of country pieces. The whole record really very consistent album. I pleasure listening to this a few times this week just because it was so good. I haven't played it in a while. I don't know if it's my favorite Dregs record. I know it seems to be the rest of the universe's favorite Dregs album. Everybody loves this record. I'm partial towards Unsung Heroes, but I'd have to think. But my number 1 is Bruford. This album, it's a little more laid back than what I usually go with for fusion, but it is so good. The writing on this is so good. Too many good songs. Hell's Bells is a freaking earworm. That's a great song when it's so catchy. The title track is great. I think my favorite song across all 5 of these is Fainting in Coils. That's been stuck in my head all week. 5G, great bass line. Way too many good songs. Travels with Myself, Forever Until Sunday with Eddie Jobson on electric violin, one of my favorite fusion ballads. It's I mean, Alan Holdsworth in the fusion community gets some flack for he is not the greatest. He was not the greatest composer ever, but Abington Chasp was probably his best composition.
That's a great track. That's the only Holdsworth song on the album, right?
Yeah, I like this better than it's probably my favorite thing he ever wrote.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's the standout on the album, I think.
Bruford's mallet work is great. I love mallet percussion. I play mallet percussion, so Holdsworth is great. Alan Holdsworth of the 70s is probably my all-time favorite guitar playing ever. But the whole band, really, Dave Stewart has great keyboard work. I wish there were more Holdsworth and Berlin collaborations because they work really well together on this. So it's not my favorite Holdsworth appearance ever. That's Enigmatic Oceans, but this is my number 2. But this was really tough, but one of a kind and one of my all-time favorite albums. One of the best records of the 70s. So thank you very much.
Nice. Well done, Kiefer. That
stuff,
was your list. So we expected nothing short of greatness. Andy, any rebuttal to anything young Kiefer had to say?
Well, just to say thank you for not choosing the big names or the names you'd expect.
Yep.
There's 5 interesting albums, 2 of which I don't know very well. I mean, fortunately, I've actually heard all of these, but there's only 3 of them. 2 of them I still have in my collection and do actually listen to. So, but it was interesting to hear a kind of jazz rock element. And late 70s, which is not a period people normally associate with prog rock. So thank you, Kiefer, for being unusual and intelligent.
Wise beyond his years. And if I'm looking at sales figures, none of these albums sold worth a damn in the US or in the UK. None of these records did.
What's the best selling, right?
So Prague, we had seen its better days, definitely in its rear view mirror by the time 77, 78, 79 goes around. But know, some of the music that was being produced actually very, very cool. It has a certain sound, that late 70s sound where technology was starting to catch up a little bit with some of the musicians' ideas. And 2 out of the 5 produced by Ken Scott, and I'm a big fan, man. I just think his production is amazing. Johnny, how do you see these 5?
Yeah, like Kiefer, I find it hard to differentiate between them all because they've all got so many plus points. But also, they're all, even though they're coming from similar genres, they're also very different as well. They're quite an eclectic change and between them all, and I find it difficult. I always had my number 1. I'll come to my number 1. I'm going to get the number 1, obviously. But it was my number 1. It's one of my favorite albums ever. So it was an easy pick for me. I remember the day I got it. I remember playing it. I remember playing it loads and loads and loads of times. So, but anyway, and like Kiefer, two of these were new to me. Though unbeknownst to me, I knew the Dixie Dregs. I thought the Dixie Dregs were a kind of a punk country act. In fact, I don't know why I thought that, but I did think that. And it was only when I sort of looked into this and thought, right, okay, how wrong can you be? When I actually listened to the album, I got the album start of the week, or a couple of middle of the week, and I knew the Take It Off the Top. Didn't know what it was called back then, but it was used in an iconic radio show for a long time. And Alan might know this. About there was a famous DJ called Tommy Vance. Tommy Vance was he played, he was the standout man for rock and prog and stuff like that.
Yes,
in commercial radio.
So you know about him, Andy?
Absolutely. Rock Salad on BBC World Service.
That was it. Yeah, he was sort of legend really, and he had a sort of really memorable speaking voice as well. Thomas the Vance, he called himself. And anyway, he opened the show every time with Take It Off the Top.
Okay,
that's cool. So and there was actually, I was looking through it. I almost posted somewhere. There's a whole archive show of it, and there he is. And unfortunately, he's no longer with us though. So I didn't know the Dixie Dregs album, and I didn't know Happy the Man album either, but I knew the other three. So I've been acquainting myself with both of those this week. But I knew the Brand X one reasonably well, and I started on my bottom one, which is the Brand X one. In my mind, because I hadn't heard it for quite some time, I thought it was better than it was. If I can put it that way, it's a good album, but I thought it was better than it was. And for some of the reasons Kiefer said, I found it was a bit sort of abstract and noodly, particularly at they've with that 14-minute or whatever it is, 11-minute song that opens. It just rattles on and on and on. Seems to meander. And I thought, okay, and then there was nothing else which really grabbed me until the album got to about track 3 or 4, and I did make a track list with the names, and I can't remember them, unfortunately.
No,
so
it doesn't matter. Hey, Johnny and Andy, I was just reminded of something here, looking at my feed. Who's Jeremy Clarkson? And why is he talking about prog rock? What's going on?
Well, do you want to go, Andy, or I'll go? Whatever you like.
I don't watch television. I know the name. He's something to do with cars, isn't he? But that's
he is. Yeah, he made his name on a program called Top Gear, and Top Gear was like, well, I think it transferred to the States, didn't it?
Yeah.
Or there was an American version of it at least, wasn't there?
Yeah. Buddy's house one time, and I had to sit through that for like 4 hours. It was like a 4-hour show.
Oh.
I mean, it's
like an hour. It was so boring. There was one fun part where they had a spare car, and so they just catapulted it down a cliff. That was pretty cool.
yeah. Well, the show became more and more. Sorry, Keith.
Well, hey, I remember I saw a clip of Top Gear where they were playing "I Know What I Like" Genesis, and they're called. That was kind of cool.
Well, sorry, mate. The reason that he's associated with prog, he became that show became more and more outrageous, and it started off as a really straightforward car show where they had car reviews and went into the specs of the cars and all this sort of stuff back before the mists of time. But then Clarkson and two other guys, a guy called James May and another guy called the hamster, what's he called, Richard Hammond, and that was it, Richard Hammond. The three of them they became buddies. It sort of became a bloke thing, and the more it got popular, the blokier they became. And the more blokier they became, the more outrageous the stunts became. So it became famous for that. And then he's kind of a guy who's not backward and coming forward when he's talking about politics and stuff like that. So he earned the reputation of being a bit of a self-opinionated, let's put it like that, if I'm being kind to him. But in the midst of all of this, then he revealed that he was into prog rock.
Yeah,
and,
apparently here, yesterday's newspaper headline reads, Jeremy Clarkson, I'm going to drum up tech bro cash for a prog rock revival. And apparently people are taking him serious.
Yeah, I mean, because he's got a big following, he's got a big audience, and if he gets behind something, I suppose he could sort of G it up. I mean, we did have, incidentally, last night, on Friday night, they broadcast that prog, the prom. On
right.
Which I haven't caught up with yet, but I will do, and I've heard mixed responses about it.
Oh, come on. It was a whole orchestra learning 2.5 hours worth of prog rock, and they probably were given the sheet music and they ran through it once.
Yeah, I guess
now it's time to go. They did a fine job. Was it perfect?
I think they did.
No, it was. There were wrong notes left and right, but you know who held it all together?
No.
Carl Palmer.
Oh, really? Well, yeah. Well, he was on drums. I mean, I've got.
I take back every bad thing I ever said about Carl Palmer. I do. He was actually amazing. Peter Hamill was amazing.
Peter Hamill was on there as well.
I listened to it all. I haven't watched it all. I've listened to the whole thing, and for what it was worth, I thought it was awesome. So hats off.
I mean, I've heard people sort of poo-pooing it. I've heard people saying it was great. So I haven't seen it yet. I'm sorry, that's not true. I saw two girls, and I don't know who the two girls were singing. And You and I, the Yes song, And You and I. And the orchestra were great, the orchestras do what they do, really, So anyway, going back to what I was saying, so Brand X then was my bottom one, but still a good album. Then and I had to this was a scrap out for between 3 and 4. And in the end, I've jumped with only because I virtually a flip of a coin. I went with Happy the Man. And Happy the Man, I really will listen to this album more, because I'd listened to it 2 or 3 times. And the first time I was a bit, all right, Second time it was beginning to grow on me. I listened to it again this morning and I thought, this is really good. So Happy the Man is a good revelation to me. And incidentally, I saw, when I was doing a little bit of research on it, I saw an old video of yours, Scott, when you were doing a little quick piece on them for about 4 years ago. So you were giving a quick little overview. You have changed a bit.
Yeah, the deliveries changed just
yeah,
a smidge.
Yeah,
when I did that Happy the Man video, I think that was maybe like the 10th video I'd ever done, and I was scared. I didn't know what I was doing. I was terrified.
You were good. No, you were good. You were good, but you were different. You were different.
Yeah, unwatchable, different.
No, it was very comprehensive. So yeah, so I did enjoy the album. I'll go back to that. So it was only a toss up between them and Dixie Dregs, and I was going to put Dixie Dregs up higher, because I think the Dixie Dregs album is absolutely fantastic. Particularly, again, it's such a mix on that album as well. You've got, you take it off the top. It's like starts off like a real heavy rock song, then gets very intricate and great musicianship and stuff like that, and a fabulous riff and fabulous playing on there as well. And as I say, I really knew that song, but I didn't really know what it was until I saw it on the album. And then the second track was Odyssey, with the thing that really surprised me, and the thing I really love about that whole album is Alan Sloan's violin playing. The strings on it, are absolutely fantastic, and the way it's recorded is so lush and so sweet, and just it's as opposed to any other sort of usage I've heard like that. If you look outside things like Eddie Jobson, and that would be Jean-Luc Ponty. Jean-Luc Ponty had a similar sort of feel to his playing, but I thought the violin playing on that was absolutely beautiful, and the album really, really good.
Gives them their flavor, I think.
Yeah,
they're kind of American Southern version of Mahavishnu.
Yeah, I mean, when they did the country piece, I love country guitar anyway. I'm a big Albert Lee fan. I'm a huge Brad Paisley fan and people like that. So, it didn't faze me. And maybe perhaps I heard that somewhere in the distant past, and I thought they might have been a country band. But great, fantastic playing on that. What's it called? Gina Lotta Bridget or something like that.
Yeah.
Gina Lotta Breakdown. Breakdown.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like
and then
that album.
Sorry.
Like that, there's one of them on every album.
Hey, sir, yeah. Well, it was good, and even the little thing for the kids thing was good. The little semi-classical piece was good as well. And then the last track was Night Meets Light, is it, or something like that? Have I got the right track? Yeah, lovely track as well. And I could have easily made it my second, to be honest with you. There was a right scrap in the middle, because I'd already chosen my number one because it was my favorite album back in the day. And number two is the National Health album as well. And funny, there's an anecdotal story here. The Pip Pyle, when he went for that gig after Hatfield in the North, was the drummer in our band, and our main composer, a guy called Pete Fallowell, was in for that job as well. And he was down to the last 2 or 3, and Pip Pyle got the gig. So it's just a kind of a strange little sort of one of those little quirks in life that sometimes turn up.
That's cool.
And you're right, the drumming's fantastic on it, and the tracks. And I love that kind of Canterbury sound is where the vocals is an acquired taste, and it can be quite like the talk vocals, very whimsical, and perhaps not to everyone's taste, but I did like it, and and I like the Bryden 2-step is great, and Binocular is great, and the whole album really. It takes me back to some of the sounds of with that sound before keyboards got really sophisticated, before guitars got really sophisticated. You've got like a big muff. It sounds to me like a big muff, sustained guitar on quite a few of the solos. I had all that myself, and when our band started back in the day, it was very contemporary to that, 77. And I remember we were playing pieces like that. Our keyboard player had a Fender Rhodes through a fuzz pedal and all this sort of stuff. So it took me back to those times as well. Lovely album, and it's close. It was a close run thing, but my number one was always Bill Bruford, and it was always Bill Bruford because I bought this album after Feels Good to Me, which I absolutely loved as well. And you've got 4 monster musicians there, and sometimes when you get four monster musicians like that, you know, there's some of the parts doesn't equal, you know, something that you really like. But in this case, it does. I think, you know, you've mentioned the compositions already. So many good tracks on there. And for anybody that's interested, if you look on YouTube, there is a full concert, or nearly a full concert of that album, I think, on Rock Goes to College, which is an old BBC show where they're playing most of that stuff. So it's well worth a look. And yeah, I mean, I've always loved Bill Bruford's drumming anyway, back in the days, yes. Alan Holdsworth was such a massive influence on most guitar players. And I just loved his playing. I loved his playing in Soft Machine as well. And I liked this most of the solo albums as well. Dave Stewart, great keyboard player as well. And interestingly enough, when you listen to the National Health thing, you actually hear foreshadowing of the Bruford stuff as well, because some of the ensemble pieces sound like they could be cuts of the Bruford album as well. So you had this core of that there, and then Jeff Berlin's fantastic bass player as well. And I just thought together that was a great album, and it was probably always going to be my number one because I knew it so well and I've played it so many times. So those are mine.
Nice. Well done, Johnny. Well done.
Thank
hey,
you.
Andy, what do you think about all this going on? Talking about sophomore albums, we had 5 picked out ahead of time, but you know, this is the Prog Corner. We don't have any rules. The only rule is we're talking about second albums, like Garden Jester talking about Transatlantic second album, Bridge Across Forever. Very, very good call. Absolutely. That's a great example of a second album, maybe even better than the first album. That doesn't happen all the time. But what do you think about sophomore albums, Andy? You can't remember all the way back to Unit's second album. That was like, 54 albums ago?
Well, we're almost finished our 57th. Our second album was actually really abysmal. It was teenagers who wanted to be ELP and they just didn't have the chops. Mind you, neither did I. So, yeah, I've noticed that two of the albums chosen feature Dave Stewart, who's one of my favorite keyboard players. So thank you, Kiefer, for that as well.
Yeah.
Can I just say a shout out to Pat and Tara, two of my favorite Irish people. I know they're not here at the moment, but hello to them too.
We love Pat from Close to the Edge. Prog, his channel is outstanding. And Tara, we don't see near enough of her. I guess her and Cody are, it might be Cody's birthday also, Andy. I hear it might be your birthday. I think it's Cody's birthday. So all these happy birthdays all the way around today.
Well, if it is, happy birthday, Cody.
Because, even though hearing him talk about how much he loves Load and Reload gets old, he's still a really cool dude. So,
yeah, that's all right. It's his Nickelback takes that I'm sorry, I can't just no. I can't abide, dude cannot abide by the Nickelback. No, sir.
Nope, I hate them.
I'm sorry, Andy. We broke your whole stream of consciousness. And Muse, Origin of Symmetry, is an outstanding sophomore album. Absolutely. Uriah Heep Salisbury. Oh, yeah. Keep those kind of comments going. Dead right.
Okay, well, we're fortunate that you chose albums that I have actually heard. Although I have to be honest, the Brand X and Dixie Dregs, I've only actually heard both albums twice. So my top 5 is probably not going to be very fair. At number 5, I put Brand X purely because it's too much jazz and not enough rock. If that doesn't sound too primitive. Yeah. I'm not a great lover of drums anyway. There is one number that I really liked. It was quite a long one. Why should I lend something rather?
When you've broke off yours, yeah. Why should I lend when you've broken off yours? I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Thank you. Yeah, that's my favorite one, I think. And there was another one, a short one. I can't remember. Was it called In Orbit or Orbits?
Or Orbit.
Orbits. Right. Okay. Well, those are the two that I remember. But it's still number 5. No disrespect to poor Phil Collins, who receives far more abuse than he should. And I was pleased. If I make a brief digression, when you said, I can't remember whether he was one of the villains or one of the ones you wanted to punch, Scott, but Tony Banks, yes, was responsible for Genesis turning into a pop group, not Phil Collins. So thank you for that.
That's right. It's, I am so
Justice
sick
served.
and tired of everybody blaming Phil Collins. It wasn't his band. He couldn't say what Genesis was going to turn into. He could suggest things, but you got to get things past the mighty wall of Tony Banks. That was the man pulling all the strings, calling all the shots. Yeah. And just look at the songwriting credits. It wasn't just Phil writing love songs and Tony and Mike writing all these great rockin' tracks. Like, come on, man. They were all guilty of doing the same thing. And you know what? God bless them. They made a lot of money.
Oh, and also that reminds me, thank you for being so vicious towards Richie Blackmore. I cannot stand Richie Blackmore. Now, Johnny, you mentioned earlier on, Albert Lee.
Yeah.
My favorite John Lord album is the Gemini Suite. And if you compare what Albert Lee does on the first movement of that to first recording when Richie Blackmore ruins it, enough said. Anyway, sorry, where are we? Sophomore albums, right?
Sophomore albums.
With the Dixie Dregs, it was odd because I knew nothing about them, and I too dismissed them. Obviously, a southern country band, but it was Rachel, our sax player, actually said no, they're really good. So her taste and mine don't normally coincide, so I was a bit worried when I listened to them. But of course, I recognised the first track from that radio show, and I couldn't remember what the radio show was. That Odyssey and Kids, for those three, it notches just a little above Brand X. So that's my number 4. Number 3, again, I'm not mad on drums, but because Dave Stewart's on it, and so is Alan Holdsworth. So for that reason, One of a Kind is number 3. I think I still prefer the first album, but One of a Kind does have a couple of really good tracks on it. The Sahara of Snow was my least favorite, but I know it's parts 1 and 2, but I regard it as one track. But after the 5th or 6th listen, they grew on me. They've become my favorites. For what that's worth. I just wish the bass guitar was slightly higher in the mix, but
absolutely. I strain to hear him sometimes, and I don't want to. I don't want to strain to hear anybody. But
I'm biased because I love bass guitars. Yeah. And then we come to Happy the Man. Now, if National Health wasn't on here, Happy the Man would be up the top because they're my favorite American prog band. I mean, I only discovered them because first of all, I thought they were named after that marvelous John Dryden poem. And then I thought, no, they must be named after the obscure Genesis single that no one's ever heard of. Happy the Man was the A-side, 7 Stones was the B-side. God, what a geek I am. I do apologize. But anyway, Happy the Man. Musically, I just about prefer the Sophomore album. But what the Sophomore album doesn't have is titles like Stumpy Meets the Firecracker in Stencil Forest and On Time is a Helix of Precious Laughs. I mean, what titles? But I think Happy the Man, maybe one of the reasons I think they're not better known than they should be, is they suffer from the Gentle Giant problem, is that you actually need to hear them 6, 7, 12, 13 times before you realize how good they are. Initially, when you hear them, there are no really big tunes that stick out, no amazing pieces to latch onto, like, I don't know, Roundabout or something. But gradually, if you let the magic work and listen to the interplay between the instruments, particularly the bass guitar isn't just part of the rhythm section. I mean, I can't remember his name, but he's actually doing quite a lot, certainly on some tracks, which is the one I'm thinking of now. I think it's either Steaming Pipes or I Forgot to Push It. One of those two has a good bass guitar on it. No, am I talking rubbish?
Yeah. I think it's.
I'm talking rubbish,
and that's Rick. That's Rick Kennel.
Right.
He's an unsung hero. I mean, nobody ever talks about his bass playing. I don't think I've ever talked about his bass playing, but he's awesome.
Yeah, well, that's partly why I'm glad that Happy the Man is on here. And apart from that, they I think they deserve more love anyway. And what's that? Is that really Andy Martin or somebody in witness protection? Never heard of them. I should continue anyway.
It's the real Andy Martin. I can vouch for that. It's the actual real Andy Martin from Unit is actually on the show today. It's pretty amazing.
Well, nobody else would dare to admit they were me.
Keeper's looking a little fidgety. Are you okay, Keeper? Can you stay with us, or do you need to leave us?
I can probably stay about 10 more minutes.
He's probably bored with my babbling. I do apologize.
Oh no, continue, and if we don't get a chance, everybody, Keeper, we love you. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Continue, Andy.
Okay, well, National Health, I discovered Egg. Through Egg, I discovered Hatfield in the North. From Hatfield in the North, I discovered National Health. And National Health, originally, they were one of those groups. I was really disappointed when I heard, can't remember the name, was it Tenemus Road, the first album?
Yeah.
Yes.
All this faffing about. I heard the second album, I thought, that's a bit better. But it again, like Happy the Man, it took 8, 9, 10 listens. And now it's both albums I think are brilliant, but the of Q's and Cures is definitely one of my favorite prog rock albums, because again it doesn't have any. For me, there's not a weak track on it. Even that 9-second Flackaton, whatever it's called. But it's subtlety. That the first album has a lot of really subtle stuff that takes a long time. It works better on headphones. Whereas Cures and Cures has what I call the Hugh Hoffa sound. I think that fuzz is on the bass. That is actually on the bass guitar, but I may be wrong there. But it's certainly easier to assimilate after a few listens. To try to pick the best tracks, almost impossible. My favorite's probably the Calypso, but then I know the Bride and Two Step takes some beating, and Binoculars. They're all good. But,
that's a hard 1-2 punch to beat, though.
Yeah.
What a great way to start off that album. Those two tracks, for me, are the two best tracks on the album. It's heavily front loaded.
Well, their first album was it Tenemus Roads has the tracks 11/8 or something.
Yep. There you go. Yep.
Yeah, brief digression. We actually in 2007 I was bullied by my other band members to try to do a cover version of Contrasong by Egg. Are you familiar with Contrasong by Egg?
Oh yeah.
Well, to our shame, we did it, and each of us finished before at different times. I mean, I think I think he was the only one who actually managed to keep it together.
Nice.
I discovered I'm not a very good keyboard player, and we all finished at different times. The whole thing was a disaster, but the audience clapped because they thought it was meant to be like that.
See, that's the good thing about Prague.
Yeah.
He's meant to do it like that.
Yeah, nobody knows.
It's avant-garde. It's meant to be like that. Yeah.
That's right.
Right. Anyway, that's enough of my babbling. I think that's.
Well, Andy Martin, everybody. Andy Martin from Unit. That's
Good
pretty
luck.
exciting.
Yeah.
I'm excited. This guy's got 56 albums out, and he's got time to spend with us on a Sunday afternoon. Oh, yes, indeed. Well, I want to go over real briefly, what I think the top 5 should be. And, there's been a whole lot of love for Brand X today. And especially and people always talk about like, yeah, this is the better of the two, because it's always Moroccan roll or the first album. I submit to you this song. There's a reason why I got Brand X in 5th place. What in God's name is this? What am I listening to?
This is Phil, isn't it?
It's a vocal tune.
No, yeah, it's the vocal tune.
Yeah, the vocal, but yeah, is it not Phil Collins too?
It
It's
is.
Phil Collins,
Yeah.
but he's singing in Sanskrit.
No, I know. But I didn't know it was him. I didn't know it was him until I looked it up.
Oh, Zeb loves this song. I just wanted to listen to a little bit of this song. Looks like I'm wrong. Everybody loves this song. Okay,
Lot of
I
love
was
coming
thinking
in for
this
it, yeah.
was like evidence of why Moroccan Roll is my number 5.
It's my number 5, definitely.
Listen to those marimbas going, man.
That's making me hungry listening to that.
Moroccan Roll. Oh boy, oh boy. If it was John Anderson, I'd be loving it. And I love Phil. I got no problem with Phil. No problem at all with Phil. Yeah, I think that's enough of that, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't need any more of that. You can go away. If I know how. There we go.
There's a minute and a half of my life.
But that's why I have it at number 5. Side 2, you're right, Kiefer. Side 2's where it's at. Side 2's actually really good.
Except for
the musicianship, except for what?
Except for Hate Zone. Hate Zone is awesome. Love it.
Yeah, Hate Zone's a cool song. But
Yeah,
that 11-minute song that follows the vocal track actually would be an amazing 3-minute song. It totally would be. The riff is kind of cool. It makes me think, Percy Jones, Phil Collins, man, it's getting me into this Brian Eno before and after science kind of groove. And I'm like, I'm into it. And then it never does anything. It does nothing for 11 minutes. At number 4, I got Bruford. And I prefer the debut, and I just can't get over it. It's always kind of affected the way I think about this album, is how much that debut album from Bruford impacted me. I absolutely adored it. I thought it was amazing. And the second album I liked. I didn't love it, but that's all right. That's all right. At number 3, somebody mentioned Egg.
Me.
Yeah, Andy talking about Egg. There's a couple of those Canterbury bands. There's like a bunch of Canterbury acts out there. But the cool thing about Canterbury is the headline bands are all great, right? You don't have to sort through crap. Egg, National Health, right? Caravan. The big names are great. And Hatfield in the North, but probably my favorite Canterbury band is National Health. And it's because both their albums rock. They're both amazing. But it's in 3rd place. How is that even possible, man? Well, because it's a little front-loaded. It starts out with such a bang with that Bryden 2-step and then the Collapso. And then, you get the 11-minute square for Maud, which I like, but I don't love. So there's a little bit of a letdown. Side 2's cool, but my top 2, man, maybe it's my American Prejudice. Of course it's my American Prejudice. My top 2 are the American ones. Oh, yeah. Also, the Ken Scott joints. I cannot begin to emphasize how great his production is on both of these albums. At number 2, it's What If, man, 1978. I roll into a record store in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Yeah, it was the Peaches on Sunrise Boulevard. And they're playing the new Kansas album. It wasn't the new Kansas album. It was this thing, man. I thought for all the world Alan Sloan was Robbie Steinhardt, and nobody was singing, so I couldn't quite figure out who it was. And dude, he starts laughing. He's like, "No, man, it's Dixie Dregs." Oh, I bought the cassette. I took it back on the boat with me. It sailed the Caribbean with me. I love every song on here. I absolutely adore it. What's his name? The drummer, Rod Morgenstein. How good is that guy, man? We talk about, Steve Morse all the time. Andy West is amazing. But wow, I just love the drumming on that record. Absolutely amazing. But number 1, my favorite of these 5, Kiefer, it is Happy the Man, Crafty Hands. And again, Ken Scott is a big reason why. He created this weird universe on that first Happy the Man album, unlike anything I'd ever heard before. And the genius of Happy the Man was knowing, yeah, Stanley Whitaker doesn't have the greatest voice in the world, so he's only going to sing on a couple tracks. Genius. I love it. It's perfect. And they doubled down on this one. He only sings on one track. But Ken Scott was not happy. Oh no, Ken Scott was actually pissed off because he really liked the drumming of Mike Beck on that first Happy the Man album. He loved working with him. He thought that was a big part of the Happy the Man sound. So when they roll into the studio and Mike's not there, it's Ron Riddle and his 8 trillion rack toms. I've never heard anything like it, man. When I listened to Crafty Hands the first time, I'm like, how many rack toms am I actually hearing? It's like he's got like 100 different drums he hits. It's just absolutely amazing, man. I love it. I love Happy the Man. They're absolutely amazing. And like I said, our thoughts and prayers go out to Stanley and Leanne Whitaker. I love you guys, and I love Happy the Man. Absolutely amazing. Any last words on our lists here today before I get into some detail about what's happening on upcoming events in the Prog Corner? Andy, you got any last thoughts? Andy, are you still with us?
Okay, sorry. I thought
Yeah.
it was Keith.
No, I'm circling back the other way around.
Okay, just because Johnny mentioned Tommy Vance earlier on, and there were actually 2 shows he did. The one he did on the broadcast by the BBC World Service had another superb theme tune, which was Hurricane by the Gary Moore Band, which is basically Coliseum 2 with a different drummer. And that was superb. I actually met him once, he's a lot quieter in real life.
I walked past him one time. He was coming out of a pub. I walked past him. It was Tommy Vance.
Well,
He didn't say hello, though. He didn't know me, unfortunately.
Interesting. Hey, Andy, where can people hear your music? Where can people find your music? Where can people buy your music?
Okay, we've given up trying to sell our stuff, so now we give it away. Basically, if someone sends me an email, I'll send them anything via WeTransfer, complete with all the artwork. They can have it. Since I've changed my attitude towards buying and selling completely. I was on April the 4th. I converted to Roman Catholicism. Had a God moment, and I've decided now to give all my stuff away, not sell it. Sorry if that sounds pretentious, but there you go. So just send me an email, and if you want to hear any of our albums, even the bad ones, I'll send them to you free of charge. You can find our stuff on Rumble and BitChute. If you type Unit Andy Martin in BitChute, you find it, provided you don't live in the UK, where BitChute isn't available. And on Rumble, if you type Unit Keelan Knight, that's Keilan Knight, you'll find our channel there. Apparently, I've heard that there is a YouTube channel that features our stuff. I've not found it, but apparently it does exist.
Okay, we're gonna find that channel. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. Somebody knows something, and Zeb apparently knows something. Does anybody know what this means? Go listen to Palm Trading Basics after the stream.
Zeb, what genre is it?
I don't even know.
No, not
Palm
me.
Trading Basics. I don't know them, but I will because you told me to. Johnny, what do you got going on, man?
Just more of the same. We're actually putting a single together at the moment, so that'll be about another month and a half's time.
Are you gonna release it on physical, or is it gonna be a streaming?
It'll go on to Bandcamp, I think, in the first instance. So it may go towards another album. We're not sure at the moment. So that's just beginning to happen at the moment. We've got the rough demos and stuff like that done for it. So we'll start recording. Still pushing as usual, And if you want to buy Stogum stuff, you can get the album on Bandcamp. Stogum.bandcamp at whatever it is. Anyway, Bandcamp. Just look it up in Bandcamp.
Right.
Can't remember
Please
what it is.
go there and order a bunch of stuff on the Bandcamp because it makes me look good. Like Johnny will be like, "Oh man, Scott's people, they're amazing." I go on the stream, I sell some product. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and for Canterbury fans, we've been likened to Canterbury Band in a background review couple of weeks ago, magazine, Prog magazine from the Netherlands. So yeah, so we're still doing that. We're still, knocking on doors and beating down doors and pushing as best we can. And to say we're getting some radio play, which is nice, and we're going to keep on doing that.
Very
What band
cool,
is
very
Yeah,
cool.
Stogum. Yeah, that's me.
There you go. That's them. That's them.
Yeah,
The one and
Stogum,
only.
Yeah.
Releasing their debut album 48 years after the fact.
Yeah.
That might be a Guinness Book of World Records worthy type of fact. Keeper, how's your summer going? What do you got going on?
Good. I got to leave in like 30 seconds, so Bruford's our winner.
Okay.
So yeah, everybody next week. Take care.
Well done, Kiefer. Thanks.
Outstanding. Well, a little bit of bookkeeping, boys and girls. We're going to talk about upcoming events in the Prog Corner. Oh, yes, indeed.
Scott, may I make a request whilst I'm here?
Andy, yeah.
I must make this request. I think I put it in comments when we used to have a YouTube channel. Please, 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 please do a show where you talk about prog rock singles, because a lot of the time the singles aren't available on the albums. And I'm thinking particularly about of the family here. But anyway.
No, hey, shoot me an email with a couple of your thoughts, and I'll build on the list from there, because that is a great idea. Next week on the channel, boys and girls, we're going to be talking about guilty pleasures records.
Yes.
Albums, records, artists, things you shouldn't like. You just know it because you like Rush and you like Genesis and you like Emerson, Lake and Palmer. There's no way you like that band. No way, but for some reason you do. So it's going to be a little embarrassing, and I want people to be honest about it. August 9th, we've got an open date, so maybe, Andy, you and I can put together, maybe that's our topic for August 16th. I don't know. That's August 9th. August 16th, though, I do have booked. That is what I'm really, really excited about. We have got Ted Leonard and John Baygold from Pattern Seeking Animals. Album number 6 is coming out on Giant Electric P. It's called, Grim Mulkin. There you go. I remembered it. August 23rd, we've got Hats Off Gentlemen. It's Adequate in the house. They've got a brand new album out called Parallel Lives. August 30th. Oh, yeah. Here she is in all her glory. She's been on the show before. She's coming back on the show August 30th. It's Kim Chin Gibbons. This is her brand new album coming out. Math Rock and Morning Murder. Oh, I love Kim Chin Gibbons. Oh, yeah. She'll teach you a thing or two. Yeah, absolutely, she will. And then September 6th, we've got everything booked up except for August 9th here. September 6th, it's Matt and Kevin from The Fierce and the Dead. They've got a brand new album out. Coming out in September called I should write these things down. I'm 63. I'm not like 21 anymore where I could take in all this information and remember it all. It's called I don't remember what it's called now. It doesn't matter. They've got a new album coming out. He just sent it to me. I downloaded the files. I listened to it last night. It's really, really good. I love The Fierce and the Dead. So Matt Stevens and Kev will be on the show September 6th. But next week, guilty pleasures, man. What records, what bands? Yeah. Can you think of that? I know everybody's, if I go through your record collection, Johnny, I bet I'm going to find some Engelbert Humperdinck or some Johnny Mathis. Come on, it.
Bing Crosby, all that stuff.
Bay City Rollers, perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've got some standards. There's no Bay City Rollers.
Yeah.
But you'd be surprised. Andy, anything in your collection off the top of your head that you'd be embarrassed if I saw?
Apart from Oasis, no. There's nothing embarrassing. The Oasis is a bit embarrassing. 2 CDs worth of tracks, but other than that, no, I'm safe.
Yeah, very, very good. Well, this was a great show, guys. Thank you so much. Be sure.
Question.
Yeah.
One quick question. In both your list of villains and your punchables, I was waiting to hear you have a go at John Fogerty, and you didn't. Why not? His lawyer's been in touch with you.
He's terrible, and you would think that maybe I was pulling punches because when I did my most hated bands of all time. I believe I had CCR at number 2.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. So, I like to kind of spread out my hatred. It's like I did the top prog villains, and then the very next episode I did was most punchable rock stars. I wanted to put Roger Waters in both so badly, but I got to spread out the hate. You got to spread the love, you got to spread the hate. Yeah, but next week on the show, I think I'm going to be talking about the brand new album from the Bardic Depths. We had Davey Bandana on this show a couple weeks ago. It's their 4th and final album, and that's really sad because I like anything with Peter Jones. That guy's amazing, man.
Yeah,
he's in Camel. He's in Cyan, Tiger Moth Tales. Anything he sings on, I want to listen to.
He's a great musician.
Oh, he's so good. The Bardic Depths are going to be talking about their 4th and final album, and I've got a really exciting episode coming up next week. It's going to be it's very timely, right? Because apparently we got this little skirmish going on between the United States and Iran going on, and so we're going to be talking about prog and war, prog rock songs about war. I picked 20 songs that everybody thinks prog is about fairies and Elven,
it's a delirium,
and time travel, and all this goofy kind of stuff. But I say poppycock. There's plenty of actual, real songwriting going on in prog. And we're going to be talking about prog and war. So that's going to be a bunch of fun. Oh, yeah, I got a top 20 already picked out. I wonder if anybody can guess who I got at number 1.
Wonder if it's yes.
I wonder, could it be?
Could it be? Andy knows me too well.
Yeah,
but there's a couple choices, right? Yours is No Disgrace, is about Vietnam.
Yep. It's a delirium.
So I think Jeff Shilko has an idea what my number 1's going to be.
Yeah, there it is.
And I think Rick probably has a good idea who's going to be in the number 2 slot, but it's even harder with Pink Floyd, man. Think about all the songs they've got about, war or militarism or, how goofy Roger Waters is with his songwriting. You know how he is. Okay, so that's next week. It's going to be a whole bunch of fun. Anyway, boys and girls, thanks for joining us. Oh, what an amazing episode we had today, and a whole bunch of fun for Kiefer, who had to leave doing Kiefer kind of stuff, Andy from Unit, Johnny from Stogum. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, don't forget to pick up your Stogum CD, right? Yeah. Absolutely. Go to Bandcamp, do it, and you can email Andy for is your entire discography available, Andy?
Yes, it is.
Oh, nice.
Warts and all.
What is somebody bringing up Blood Rock? Oh, DOA. I love that song, man. You're bringing me back to my childhood there. What a great track that was. Anyway, boys and girls, I love you. Peace in the Middle East. Free Tibet, free Ukraine, free your mind, free beer, free Willie, free the Epstein files, and God save that king. Save King Chucky III. That boy needs you saving. Bring him to Ohio. Oh, yeah, bring him to Ohio where he got thoughts and prayers. We got spells. We got incantations for that cotton picking king. Oh, yeah. And then Kiefer's uncle, Billy Bob, he's got some snakes. Oh, no, look out. Oh, it's a snake attack. Oh, yeah, we'll see you next Sunday. I love you guys. Peace. Oh, yeah, peace in the Middle East. Oh, yes.